Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Zavarius, and we have got a squad builder today. So we are in the formation in the 3-5-2 formation, and let's just get started with our defense. So as keeper we have Manuel Neuer, and then from right to left as center backs we got Felipe Santana, Jerome Boateng, and Pepe, Blue Pepe. So starting on the review with the defense, it was pretty good. Like, looking at the defense, you would obviously think Pepe would be the standout player, being that he's, you know, the blue version and everybody else just regular. But man, let me tell you, he was like the worst in the defense. Not to say he was bad, but he was the worst in this defense. I mean, everybody's fast. Felipe Santana with 81 pace, Jerome Boateng with 75, and then Pepe with 79. But I mean, he did not live up to his stats on his card. I mean, Felipe Santana like way outperformed him, and let's see, he cost 2,500, whereas Pepe cost 169,000. So yeah, take it from me, do not, you know, put a whole lot into Pepe if you want to get him. I mean, he just got outperformed by both the other two center backs. And then Manuel Neuer, I mean, I've played with quite a few different keepers after trying out a bunch of different squads, but man, when it comes to normal, regular, like non-informed keepers, he's by far the best. I mean, this is talking about both going against him and having him on the team. He's like, compared to Czech, he's still better than Czech. I think Czech is a little bit taller. Yeah, Neuer's 6'4", I'm pretty sure Czech is 6'5", but yeah, Neuer is just way better, in my opinion. That's my opinion, that is. So yeah, the defense performed pretty well. We didn't allow like a whole lot of goals, but you know, it did still have its weaknesses. You know, running three center backs in the back, you know, you don't have the pace of wing backs to kind of cover against those really fast, say, wingers or just any forwards. So that's kind of annoying. So let's get on to our midfield. So in our first CDM, we have got, let's go, alright, there we go, inform, international man of the match Khedira. And then for our second CDM, we have got inform Luis Gustavo. And as I'm sure you, as I'm sure you're able to see from the thumbnail or from the title of the video, person who we have at left wing is Cristiano Ronaldo, highlight player of this team. And then in right mid we have the second or third the last informed Hulk, I'm not sure which one it is. So yeah, the midfield performed pretty well. I mean, Sami Khedira and Luis Gustavo were very good on defense. Gustavo obviously has quite a bit more pace, because Khedira is pretty slow, 61 pace compared to Luis Gustavo's 76. But I mean, when he's in midfield, you don't really need the pace too much. I mean, midfield is the place where you need the least amount of pace. So, I mean, it's not really too noticeable. I mean, he's not the one who's going to be tracking back and trying to catch up to like Samuel Eto'o or anyone like that. You know, that's the job of the center backs. So, I mean, he does his job pretty well. He could steal the ball away and, you know, do a pretty good pass out. And that's a little more than I could say for Gustavo. I mean, where he does have the pace, it's a bit harder to, you know, make a good pass. Even though his passing stat is technically one higher than Khedira, it's just like in game, Khedira's is just way better. I mean, Gustavo doesn't have that great of passing. And then onto the left and right mids, obviously Ronaldo and Hulk. In like this kind of formation where Ronaldo plays left mid, it's just not very good for a player like him. You pay as much money, like I paid 1.6 million for him. I'm pretty sure he's going for like way higher. Like I think he's going pretty close to 2 million now, but yeah, I don't know, I haven't checked recently, but like in a formation like this, he does not get involved, and that's not what you want when you pay that much for a player like him and a player that has the kind of stats he does. So yeah, if you get Ronaldo, I wouldn't suggest having him as like a left mid. I would definitely suggest having him as a left wing or left forward. He just does not get nearly involved enough. And I mean, yeah. And he just did not score too many goals in this squad because of that. And then there's also Hulk, who being on the right side with his left foot, it does, being on the right side and being left-footed, that is, it does kind of discourage you from crossing. But I mean, he's still really capable of crossing on his right foot, with his right foot if it comes to it. Even though not every time necessarily, because obviously he does have the 2-star weak foot, but yeah, it is capable. And getting that big pace boost from his normal card, he is able to just run down the wing and, you know, skills if you want, or just cross it in. And oh, I forgot the center attacking mid. We have got Diego from Atletico Madrid. And yeah, so on to Diego, I guess. He's I mean, he has 83 passing, and the chemistry style catalyst I put on him raises that by 3 points. So you would think he'd be able to pass it much better than he can, but that's not necessarily the case. Just like Gustavo's passing was technically higher than Khedira's, it's kind of like in game it doesn't play out that way. He doesn't pass as fluidly as you'd like. Like Ronaldo passes better than him, and so does Hulk on his left foot. And it's, I mean, really all there is about him is his 4-star skills, and his shot is actually better than, it seems better in game than 78. But yeah, now moving on to the 2 forwards. As our first striker, we have got Diego Costa, and as our second striker, we have got Neymar. Diego Costa being the blue Diego Costa, that is. So as obviously Neymar was left winger last year when he played for Sao Paulo in Brazil, and let me tell you, because he's just so much better, in my opinion, as a winger as compared to a striker. I mean, he could get the job done as striker, but at least what I had, my experience with him, was that he could get the ball and then run, but as soon as he gets grabbed by any sort of center back, he just gets knocked to the ground. And you know, it's because he's so weak. He has like, his strength stat is like 45 or something like that, something terrible. And yeah, it's just not, in my eyes, it's not very good for a striker to be that weak, even if he is fast. And I mean, it is pretty nice having the 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot up front, because normally you don't get that. And but yeah, other than that, he's not really, in my opinion, suited to be a striker. And then we kind of have polar opposites here with Diego Costa. He's not nearly as skillful, only 3-star skills, and not as good as his weak foot, only 3-star weak foot. But I mean, he gets the job done so much better. Like in the 9 games I played with him, I had 9 goals. And yeah, I mean, 89 pace, 92 shooting, and 88 heading. I mean, 88 dribbling as well. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of pace at striker, but it is really helpful. But I mean, he just has so much strength. I believe it's 99 strength in his blue card. And yeah, it's just so noticeable. Plus his insane sprint speed. I'm pretty sure it's in the 90s too. And his finishing is just ridiculous. You'll see in the highlights I'm playing, you'll see this one goal where he scores outside the box on a near post shot against Czech. And yeah, he's just ridiculously good at finishing. And heading, when I was building this team, I was looking at stats, and I saw that his jumping was his least impressive part of his heading attributes. And I thought that would be a big problem, because, you know, players like Ronaldo, who have really good jumping, you know, are much better, or I would think, or at least I thought, I mean, are much better than players who don't jump too well, like Diego Costa. But man, that is just not the case. It's in fact almost the opposite, because Diego Costa being at 88 is much better than even though Ronaldo's really good, don't get me wrong, at hitting. Diego Costa's just so good. I mean, he's only an inch taller, I believe. Yeah, 6'2", and Ronaldo's 6'1". Yeah, he's only an inch taller, but you know, that doesn't make a whole world of difference. But yeah, he's just ridiculously good. So yeah, like I was saying, kind of polar opposites between the 2 strikers. Fast and weak between fast, skillful, and weak in Neymar, and then still fast but strong and not so skillful in Diego Costa. But having them 2 up front, they do kind of balance each other out. So I mean, I guess Neymar can have that. But yeah, in like the last couple games that I was playing with them, in game I usually switched Neymar and Ronaldo, so that way Ronaldo would play up front in Neymar's place. But yeah, so this is the squad we have, and as you'll notice, I don't have a bench. That's because the only other players I have are the players from the new squad that I'm going to be putting in for the new squad builder that I'm going to put out in a couple days. So yeah, just in case you're wondering, no bench. But yeah, as a total, overall, this squad was really underwhelming for how much it is. If you want to see how much it is, check out the description below. You'll see how much I paid for it, that is. So yeah, it's just, I mean, when you look at it on paper, it looks really good. But as you look at it, as you play with it, it just does not live up to the expectations you'd think. Like having Ronaldo, the third informed Hulk, and then Neymar and Costa up front, man, you think that's such a good attacking force, but it's really unfortunately underwhelming. And then in this team, I'd say the defense definitely outperformed the offense, even though the defense was, nothing, spectacular, not the best I've had in this game or anything like that, which is really kind of sad. So as a whole, I would not recommend buying this team. If you have the coins, you could get something that functions much better for much less. And yeah, the best players in the offense, Ronaldo and Diego Costa, by a mile. Like, they carried the offense literally. And then the best players in defense, Felipe Santana and Manuel Neuer, by a mile as well. And yeah, I mean, so you know how much the team costs, and you know my recommendation, how I think it functions and everything. But if you still feel the need to buy the team and see how it works, then by all means do so and let me know how it works for you. And one thing I wanted to mention was, if you watched my previous video, the little pack opening where I mention why I didn't upload for so long and what I plan to do for the future, there was one thing I neglected to mention, and that was that I was seriously considering changing my name on YouTube. So yeah, if you just log on and see my name change like in the coming weeks, don't be surprised or anything. It's just something I'm thinking about doing, and I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, so that's why I'm not saying anything like that yet. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, so just a heads up. So yeah, please leave a comment down below, like the video, and if you're new, please do subscribe. We also have another squad builder coming up pretty soon here, where the highlight player is International Man of the Match Rodriguez. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.